Hello, my stamping friends. My name is Holly Peterson. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Cheyenne, Wyoming. And I have a gatefold for you, an off-centered gatefold card today that we're going to make that is perfect for the guys in your life. So there's the card. The supplies we're using. We are using the Happy Birthday greeting from Scalloped Blooms. And then I'm using Nature's Symphony bundle. Oops, too close. And then Scalloped Blooms for this Happy Birthday. I also used the branching out dies. These are no longer available, but I already had my paper cut. So you could use nested essentials, or the beautifully celebrated. Pretty much anything that'll nest, that you can nest together to give you two labels. You could actually just cut straight rectangles as well. But those are the stamp sets and dies that we're using. Our products supplies include Pretty Peacock, and it is 4 1/4 by 11, and it is scored at 3 5/8 and 9 1/8. I'm not sure I remember what my message here is. If you score at 3 5/8, you could turn it and score at 1 7/8. Or you could just score at 3 5/8 and 9 1/8. We have basic white for the inside, 4 by 5 1/2. Sorry, 4 by 5 1/4. We have the Nature's Walk DSP. This piece measures 3 1/2 by 4 1/8. And then we have another piece that measures 5 by 1/2. That's for the inside. And then a different pattern, 1 3/4 by 4 1/8. For the branching out dies, the Lost Lagoon is cut with the fifth largest die, so you need about 4 by 2 1/2. And then the top layer is Crumb Cake, and it's cut with the smallest branching out die. So 3 1/2 by 2 1/4 is the paper size for that. You need a scrap of white, about 2 by 3. Mine's a little bit bigger, but you'll just need to stamp 2 of the leaves and die cut them from that. And then I have 2 pieces of this ribbon. It's the burlap ribbon with the white polka dots on it. So let's go ahead and do our stamping. So my card's gonna go this way. And we need this. Okay. For my greeting and my sentiment on the inside, I'm using Pretty Peacock ink. And I'm just going to stamp that kind of in the middle there. On the front, we're going to stamp on the Crumb Cake label, To a Great Guy. And then the little leaves, we're going to stamp in Lost Lagoon. And we'll need 2 of those. And then on this, let me grab a piece of scrap paper here. Still in Lost Lagoon, I stamped 2 of the leaves here. Like that. And then on the inside, we will stamp a leaf. And on my envelope, I already went ahead and stamped it full strength, and then without re-inking, stamped it again. Okay, that is all of our stamping. So now we just need to put it together. Let's close up our ink pads. I need to cut these 2 leaves out, and there's a coordinating die for that. Zoom out a little bit. Oops, I did this with the wrong hand here. I normally like to crank that with my right hand, but I'm gonna flip it around for the other one. And again, my trick for getting this to go through the mini easier is to offset that middle layer, that middle cutting plate. So we'll line that up. And then this one I make even with the base. And then it starts and goes through the machine really easy if you're having issues with your mini. Okay, get this out of our way. So on our card base, we're going to just reinforce those score lines. You want to make sure that it's even. Sometimes when you score, it may be off a little bit. And these overlap. So my tip for that is to just bring it so that it meets the other side. And even though I've already scored this, we're going to maybe reinforce it a little bit so that they just meet, they don't overlap. And you could have the skinny portion on the right and the big on the left. I'm going to do mine with the big on the right and the little on the left. I'm using my Stampin' Seal. And this is going to go on the front there. And we'll take this piece over here. kind of crooked. Let's see if we can fix that. Okay, if I was ribbon, here we go. I'm just going to use a glue dot and adhere these two together so they're flat. And I think I'm going to attach it to the back of my label. So I kind of want it to come off over here. And then we're only going to put adhesive on the left side. Well, you could put it on the right side. I'm gonna put mine on the left side. Then this piece, before we adhere it on here, I still have the Stampin', the classic Stampin' Right markers, and I'm going to use the fat end, and I'm just going to flick some ink on my Crumb Cake label, and this is the Crumb Cake marker. You can do this with your blends markers as well, or you could do it with a paintbrush and the re-inker for the Crumb Cake. So I put this on dimensionals. Whoops. And I'm just gonna lightly get it where I want it. And then I'm going to put glue dots and then kind of tuck this in. You don't want it to go outside the card. This one will tuck in right there. And I have some, I think these are retired. Maybe they're not. They're the faux bronze pentagons. So we're going to just put a couple of those on the front. I'm going to stick one there. And then a bigger one down here. Okay, then we're going to just add this strip to the inside of our card. there we have a quick, easy gatefold card using the Nature Symphony bundle. I appreciate you stopping by. If you've liked my video, I would appreciate a thumbs up, and I would like you to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for stopping by.